Hi and welcome. My name is Tolan and I'm the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at the 7 most common number formats within Microsoft Excel. We'll discuss things like the general format, the currency format, percentage format, as well as formats like the scientific format, date format, time format, and number format within Microsoft Excel. So let's get started. Now, for those of you who have watched a video in this series before, you'll know that you can go into the description section of this video and you can download the same spreadsheet that we'll be using. You can find the link there to download the Apple Inc. Income Statement 2015. So if you're interested, go ahead and download the link, the file, and we will proceed from there. So up at the top of the video, we said we were going to look at general formatting. We are going to go ahead and look at something like currency. We're going to look at percentage. We are going to look at things like scientific. Actually, let's just make this easier. I'm going to scroll to the back of the worksheet and you'll find a number formatting tab. I'm going to grab all of these and then I'm going to scroll back over here and I'm just going to paste them. And then that's pretty awesome because everything's spelled correctly and there's no formatting issues. So we're going to type here. We're going to use Ctrl Enter to enter 1,000 into each of these. Now, general formatting is just what it looks like. So if you want to apply general formatting, you could apply general formatting by pressing Ctrl Shift and then the tilde key or the number. Essentially, it will look either like this or like this. Let me zoom in. So this is going to most often be to the left of the number 1 on your keyboard. It's called a accent grave or a tilde. Accent grave or tilde. So when you press accent grave and or tilde, you'll get this formatting here, which it's currently in. If you want to apply things in currency format, you can press Control Shift and the number 4. So let's say we were to select this data here. We press Control Shift and the number 4. It all becomes currency format. Now, if we wanted to change it to a percentage, often a percentage is out of 1. So 1 would be 100%. So if we press Control Shift 5, it would be 100%. This would be a large percentage because it's not out of 1, it's out of 1,000. So we press Control Shift percentage and it would be a huge percentage. So that's what the percentage would look like. Scientific, you could achieve by pressing Control Shift and the number 6. So we'd select our range here and then Control Shift 6 would create all of those individual items into scientific notation, which is kind of cool. Now, if you wanted to apply the date format is a little bit particular. So often I'll just input a date like this. And then if you input a date is essentially a numeric value that Excel uses and then applies the date formatting with Control Shift pound sign or Control Shift 3. So if you were to convert this random number to a date, Control Shift pound sign, it would be that of September 26, 2002. So it's kind of odd, but if you wanted to say, put something in here as if you had a date, so maybe, I don't know, you had something like October 10th, 2010, you could convert it to that date format. Now, you could also change it up here. You could go to something like long date, which would provide the day, the month, the day of the month, and then the year, at least in the US system. But if you use the keyboard shortcut, Control Shift pound, it would put it into this short date format, or essentially it would be day, month, year. Now, time is quite similar. So if you wanted to input a time, you could say it's 10:10 p.m. If you were to input a time, you could do this by pressing Control Shift at, and it would automatically default to the hours and then minutes. And then the US, it would be AM or PM. If you were to say change this to something like 1820, then you press Control Shift at, it would be 6:20 p.m. So there's just little nuances to think about when you're using time. Now, if you wanted to convert something to number format, you would press Control Shift 1, or here we could select all our text, Control Shift 1, and it would put it into number format. Number format, if we zoom into the cell, is going to include commas as well as 2 decimal places. So it can be really useful to think about these different format choices. Whether you want something in general, you could do Control Shift tilde. If you wanted it to be in currency, you could do Control Shift 4. If you wanted your selection to be in percentage, you could hit Control Shift 5, but be wary that percentage is of 1. So if you have a number greater than 1, it's going to be greater than 100%. If you want a scientific format, you can press Control Shift 6, or if you wanted a date format, the way that you would do that is, let's just put a date 11/11/14. You could change the date to this short date format with Control Shift 3, or you can change a time, let's say 23:23, so that's 11:23. If you wanted to change it to the standard format for your region, you would press Control Shift at. Lastly, if you had a number, you wanted to convert it to what's called the number format, it's pretty simple. You press Control Shift and then the number 1, and it would automatically create that number format. So there you have it, the 7 keyboard shortcuts that apply a specific number formatting to your cells in Microsoft Excel. If you have any questions, any ideas, comments, go ahead and post them in the comments section of this course. And we are really grateful to those of you who give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We kind of keep a tally of how people are feeling about these individual videos. We try to improve them each iteration, each time that we create a series. So definitely the thumbs up or thumbs down is super, super helpful to us. Lastly, if you want to continue on in the series, the next set of keyboard shortcuts that we'll look at is going to be the formulas within Excel. So we'll look at things like using F4 to toggle between absolute and relative references within a cell or group of cells. We'll then look at things like opening the insert function dialog box with things like Shift F3, or we can go ahead and calculate our worksheet with F9 or Shift F9. So go ahead and join us for that, and we'll look at 10 or more keyboard shortcuts that will help you calculate the values and use formulas within Microsoft Excel. So we'll see you again soon, and as always, thanks for watching.